Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rain Boots. I'm here with another simple coastal driftwood holiday craft. So I'm going to be using the same vase filler I shared in a previous video, and you can get that, or you can get driftwood from the beach or from Etsy or Amazon. I'm going to use a wood plank from the Dollar Tree and then some paint and whatever you want to paint it. I'm also going to be using some sandpaper because this board is trashed. So this is just a Dollar Tree board and I'm using some very chunky chalk paint. I keep meaning to throw this away. I keep forgetting. So I keep using it. But it is an off-white. It's very nice and calming. It's not bright white. Totally forgot to take that off before I started painting. So I made a bit of a mess here. But a little heat and those Dollar Tree pieces come right off. Now here's where I realize I should probably just put this down on the table. I painted both sides because I do want two sides to show. These crafts are inspired by our friend, a reader Pamela, who bought a lake house and is going to have her very large family have their first Christmas at the lake house together. She wanted a series of crafts. So after my paint was dry, I did very lightly sand it, and then I used Waverly in Elephant to just add a little dimension on the sides. That's it. Super simple, super quick. I wiped off most of that actually with the paper towel. Now once that was dry, it was time to get out my pieces. So I decided to have a front and the back. The front was going to be just a stacked Christmas tree. And then the back, I thought we would do a Christmas village, right? Wouldn't that be cute? We could just paint on a little Christmas village. But the problem was I wanted to use a mini wreath and all that stuff. And it's August and I don't have any of that out. So this is me setting up. But look how cute that would be if you made a little Christmas village on the back. And you can totally paint on doors, or you can use those little tiny pieces up there for doors. Just do with whatever you'd like. All right, so here you can see I'm just stacking it and I'm sort of getting it in order and aligned. But again, like the other craft, I am not a huge fan of a floating Christmas tree shape. So I went back to my stash and I got a very wonky piece of driftwood vase filler for the tree trunk. Now, while you watch this, it's just me fussing about with some measurements. I don't know why I did this, to be honest. I didn't get it in anywhere close to perfectly aligned. But if you'd like to do that, go ahead. Anyway, so when Pamela requested these crafts, all I had was this driftwood vase filler. And so I went online thinking, I wonder if Etsy has it. Etsy has a ton. Also, Amazon has it, a ton. So I bought a couple packs, 2 different styles. So I could do a few more of these coastal and sort of beach-inspired lake house Christmas ornaments this year, and just some decorations. So as you can see, I'm just using a generous portion of hot glue and holding it on there for about 10 seconds before I move on to the next one. You can also see that I tossed aside that ruler because there is nothing in my life that needs to be that exact. And if I focus on it, well, I'll focus on it. Now, as we make these crafts, tell me something about yourself in the comment. Leave an emoji that describes you. Just one little aspect of you. Mine would be a smiling face. And I say that because I am a happy person. I have always been quite happy and content. Even on a bad day, I can find a reason to smile. So mine would be a happy face. Or an elephant, because I really like elephants. But mostly a happy face. All right, so once we have all of these glued on, you can actually spray this down with a spray sealant before you put on any decorations. And I would recommend that only just because we did paint this wood, but I totally forgot to do that. I use a UV matte spray sealant. You can do Rust-Oleum, you can do Krylon. I get it on Amazon. Anywho, I couldn't decide, and literally I'm going to save you the back and forth of what was easily 10 minutes of me moving this bow around. Technically, I wanted it in the middle top of the tree, and it was covering too much of the tree, so I put it over here on the side. That is 1-inch chiffon ribbon in navy blue. I thought it was a nice little nod to coastal without being so overt. Now, after I trim my little extras, I'm going to flip this over and do the back. Oh, I don't know why I turned it upside down. I'm going to realize, I told you I didn't have any wreaths or anything out for the cute little Christmas village I could make. So I decided to make just a star or a cross and then a little manger on the back. You don't have to do this. And to be honest, if I was doing it again, I would turn this the other way. So sideways. And then that way you'll have two distinct designs. You could do an entire little manger scene with like the Star of Bethlehem, and then you could just do straight sticks for the wise men and little rectangular sticks for like the camel. I mean, come on, wouldn't that be cute? I'm sure somebody has already done that, but it didn't occur to me to do that. I was just keeping this thing vertical. But here you can see miter shears work really well to trim this stuff into the size that you want. And if you use your scissors, you can like damage it up a little bit to make it look like it's still driftwood. I cut those into a 45-degree angle before gluing everything down. Le boop. And then that's it. That's the front right here and the back. This was an easy craft, and I hope that if you have a nautical style, these kinds of details are so nice and they all can come out pretty easily. That's it for me today. Please like this video, please share it, and subscribe for more crafting fun.